now the news.
Hey, happy Friday to you. It is February 19th and time for this week's Friday Funnies. And boy, what a week this has been, huh? We have gone from Valentine's Day to Chinese New Year to President's Day to Mardi Gras to Ash Wednesday all the way up to today, which is the birthday of Nicholas Copernicus. Would have been 543 years old today, so happy birthday, Nick. But we fit in all of these holidays while at the same time being glued to the television watching the Winter Olympics. Personally, I am really enjoying the Olympics. I am fascinated by the competition for curling. This is where athletes push a stone on the ice down towards a target, all the while trying not to spill their beer or let their cigarette go out. It is very, very inspiring. And hopefully you'll be just as inspired by the stories in this week's news. So let's start, shall we? Our first story takes us down to Fort Myers, Florida, where a traveling petting zoo set up their tent in a shopping center parking lot. The next day, however, one of their exhibits was missing. Someone broke in and stole a 9.5-foot python. Which leads me to ask the question, what the hell kind of petting zoo is this? Is this run by the Marquis de Sade? I mean, a python in a petting zoo, as far as I know, pythons like to squeeze the life out of things and then eat them. They don't belong in a petting zoo, but somebody had the nerve to come in and steal the snake. Fortunately, however, the other exhibits in the zoo were not touched, especially the porcupine, the skunk, the wolverine, and the rabid bat. Now, it's time for a Friday Funnies exclusive, something we like to call News from Around the World. Our first stop this week is the United Kingdom, where Daniel Cambridge from Burton, east of Staffordshire, was fired from his job for breaking wind. Daniel worked at Waterstone's bookstore, and he had a tendency to pass gas a lot, to the point where 35 of his co-workers complained about his flatulence. He blamed it on his antidepressant medication, but the people he worked with said, oh no, he used to walk around all day going, here, pull my finger. Nice accent, huh? In an unrelated yet equally nauseating story, a survey done in London claims that 25% of Londoners wash their bed sheets only 3 times a year.
Ew, gross.
That's once every 4 months. So if abundant flatulence and dirty bed linen are your cup of tea, England is your vacation destination. Now let's move south a little bit to Italy. In Italy, the public broadcasting network has dropped a popular cooking show called Ready, Steady, Cook because the host of that show, Chef Beppe Beguzzi, presented a recipe for stewed cat. He said people have been eating cats for centuries and he just updated the recipe. Well, he's been fired from public television in Italy. However, he is considering an offer that he's received from the Beijing People's Network to host a cooking show called How to Walk Your Dog. And finally, let's go back to Florida, shall we? Because I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something in the water. Maybe they get too much sun. People in Florida are a little bit different than the rest of us. Case in point, a 45-year-old woman down in Brunel, Florida, walked into the Flagler County Jail and demanded a conjugal visit. Now, she wasn't a tramp or anything. She knew who she wanted to have the visit with. She just didn't want a conjugal visit with any inmate. But she was very drunk, and she was late for her appointment for her regular visitation, which was really just one of those meet and greets through heavy glass, you know. But this woman, she wanted to get herself some conjugal. And she's yelling and screaming, and did I mention drunk? And finally, the police told her to get the heck out of the police station, so she staggered out to her car, got in, and was promptly arrested for DUI. At least she got what she was asking for, because she is really screwed now. Hey, that's all I have for you this week. There's a little contest this week. What do you think's going to drop more next week? The stock market or Obama's approval rating? Vote now. I'll see you next week. USA! USA! USA!